A lawyer calls up a plumber to come out to his house. The plumber takes a look and says, "Okay, I can fix it today, and it will be $800. The lawyer raises an eyebrow and asks, "How long will it take?" The plumber responds, "Well, I need about an hour's round trip to the supply house for a part, and then it should take me about an hour for the repair." The lawyer smirks and says, "2 hours? For $800? That's $400 per hour. I'm a lawyer and my hourly rate is $350 per hour." The plumber nods and says, "Yes, sir, I understand. Why do you think I gave up my law practice?" Two new friends are robbing a house. One of them is upstairs, and after dropping a big lamp, he hears the home's owner get up to investigate the noise. As he gets close, the robber goes, "Meow," imitating a cat. Then he hears the guy grumbling, "God damn it, stupid cat," and go back to bed. When he meets his accomplice downstairs, who asks him what that noise was, he said, "Dude, we almost got caught because I dropped a lamp and the guy woke up. Fortunately, I made him believe it was the cat." So after a few minutes, the other robber then goes upstairs to continue checking for valuables. But he knocks over a bookshelf that crashes to the ground. He panics when he hears the homeowner getting up to investigate, so he hides in the closet. The owner enters the room and yells, "Who's there?" So the new friend in the closet answers, It's the cat." A man goes to his friend's house and knocks on the door. The wife responded and only had a towel on her. The man looks at her and says, "Is your husband here?" She said, "Yes, he's taking a bath." The man, "I'll give you $100 if you drop the towel." Wife, "You are crazy. I would never do that." The man, "I'll give you $250 if you drop it." Wife, "I told you no. What do you want?" The man, "Okay, $500. The wife thinks and says, "Okay, but fast." No. She drops the towel, and the man gives her the $500 and tells her, "Thank you. Tell your husband I'll be back later." The wife walks in, and the husband asks who it was. Wife, "It was John looking for you, but he says he's coming later." Husband, "Oh, did he give you the $500 that he owes me?" A man goes home after being at his mistress's house. However, he realized that he smelled like her perfume. So then he goes to the nearby bar, drinks a couple of glasses of whiskey, and heads home. His wife met him at the door, smelled him, and told him, "You dirty pig, you can pour a gallon of perfume over yourself, and I'll know that you've been drinking." A guy goes with his girlfriend to stay at her parents' house for the holidays. The couple live in the city, and the parents live on a farm. The boyfriend is unused to the quiet country life, and after a couple of days, he's pretty bored. His girlfriend's father comes in and says, "Hey, young fella, if you're looking for something to do, why not take the dogs out for a bit of hunting? There's a shotgun behind the laundry door." Guy comes back a couple of hours later, and the father says, "How was it?" "That was amazing. Have you got any more dogs?" A farmer drove over to his neighbor's house and knocked on the door. A boy about 9 opened the door. "Is your mom or dad home?" the farmer asked the boy. "No, they went into town." The boy replied, "Well, how about your brother, Howard?" The farmer asked. "No, he went with mom and dad." The boy said, "Ned." The farmer stood there for a minute, shifting from one foot to another and mumbling when the boy says, "I know where the tools are if you need to borrow one, or I could give my dad a message for you." "Well," the farmer said uncomfortably, "I wanted to talk to your dad about your brother Howard getting my daughter pregnant." The boy thought for a moment, then said, "You'll have to talk to my dad about that. I know he charges $500 for the bulls and $150 for the pigs, but I have no idea how much he charges for Howard." A 17-year-old boy who works part-time at Pizza Hut drives up to park in front of the house in a beautiful Porsche. Naturally, his parents know that there's no way he earned enough with his after-school job to buy such a car. "Where did you get that car?" his mom and dad screamed in shock. "I bought it today," replied the teen calmly. "With what money, young man?" his mom demands. "We know how much a Porsche costs, and you cannot afford it." "Well, it's used and I got a good deal," says the boy. "This one cost me $20. "Who on earth would sell a car like that for $20? "The woman up the street," the boy replies. "I don't know her name, she just moved in." She ordered a pizza, and when I delivered it to her, she asked me if I wanted to buy a Porsche for $20. The boy's dad and mom hurry over to their new neighbor's house, ready to demand an explanation. Curiously, their new neighbor is calmly planting flowers in her front yard. I'm the father of the kid you just sold a sports car to for $20. The dad says, I need an explanation from you. Well, the woman says, not looking up from her garden, this morning I got a phone call from my husband. I thought he was on a business trip in Florida, but it seems he has run off to Hawaii with his secretary and doesn't intend to come back. What on earth does that have to do with selling our son a Porsche for $20? The boy's mom asks, utterly perplexed. The new neighbor smiles very big and pauses for a minute. Well, my husband asked me to sell his new Porsche and send him the money. So I did. A guy spots a sign outside a house that reads, Talking dog for sale. Intrigued, he walks in. So what have you done with your life? He asks the dog. I've led a very full life, says the dog. I lived in the Alps rescuing avalanche victims. Then I served my country in Iraq. And now I spend my days reading to the residents of a retirement home. The guy is flabbergasted. He asks the dog's owner, why on earth would you want to get rid of an incredible dog like that? The owner says, because he's a liar. He never did any of that. A beautiful woman went up to the bar in a quiet, rural pub. She gestured alluringly to the bartender, who approached her immediately. The woman seductively sighed that he should bring his face closer to hers. As he did, she gently caressed his full beard. Are you the manager? She asked, softly stroking his face with both hands. Actually, no, he replied. Can you get him for me? I need to speak to him, she said, running her hands beyond his beard and into his hair. I'm afraid I can't, breathed the bartender. Is there anything I can do? Yes, I need for you to give him a message, she continued, running her forefinger across the bartender's lip, slyly popping a couple of her fingers into his mouth and allowing him to suck them gently. What should I tell him? The flustered bartender managed to stammer. Tell him, she whispered. There's no toilet paper, hand soap, or paper towels in the ladies' room. In their small village, a couple was famous for the husband being 102 years old and his wife being 98 years old, and both were in terrific condition, working their farm every day and having the bodies of much younger people. One day, a visitor to the village, curious about the couple, approached the old man at his farm. The old man was cutting wood without a shirt on, sweat glistening on a body that seemed to belong to a man half his age. The visitor introduced himself and asked the old man, I hear you are 102. That's correct, said the old man with a smile. Wow, I must say, you look in amazing shape. Thank you, said the old man humbly. Do you mind if I ask? How am I this healthy at my age? Finished the old man. Help me carry this wood back home and I'll tell you. The visitor agrees and they make their way inside. You see, said the old man, I've been married for 75 years. Now, when we got married, I made a little arrangement with the wife. Every time we have an argument, the loser of said argument must run for 5 kilometers. Seeing as we have a pretty typical marriage, I've been running 5 kilometers almost every day for 75 years. That's why I'm in the great shape I am. But if that's the case, said the puzzled visitor, how come your wife is in such great shape too? Well, smiled the old man, she usually runs after me to make sure I finish the whole 5. A nun, Sister Sarah, wakes up one morning feeling great. She gets out of bed and decides to go to the kitchen for some breakfast. On her way over there, she runs into Sister Jane, and she says, Hi, Sister Jane. To which Sister Jane answers, I see you got off on the wrong side of the bed this morning, sister. Puzzled, Sister Sarah did not understand what Sister Jane meant by that, so she ignored it and went on. She's passing by the garden when she runs into Sister Roberta and says, Good morning, Sister Roberta. Hope you're having a great day. Sister Roberta answers, Good morning, Sister Sarah. I see you got off on the wrong side of the bed today. Sarah was now really anxious to know why everybody she meets keeps saying that when she feels so great. And so she decides to go and see Mother Superior, who is in her office. She enters and asks Mother Superior, Holy Mother, Everybody keeps telling me that I got off on the wrong side of the bed, but I feel great. The Mother Superior replies, That's because you have Brother John's shoes on.